A pilot strike could hit Amazon where it hurts and disrupt deliveries during its most important shopping weekend of the year. 250 pilots employed by ABX Air, which flies packages for Amazon and DHL, are protesting alleged staffing shortages. ABX is asking a judge to force its employees back to work. All of this as the retail industry gears up for an 11% increase in online spending over the next 2 months from last year. Amazon will benefit from much of that. Joining us now to discuss the behind-the-scenes work this holiday shopping season is SJ Consulting Group President Satish Jindal, as well as Mike Sasso, our Bloomberg News reporter who covers the airlines, and ABX pilot Rick Zybarth, Captain Rick Zybarth, joining us now on the phone. But Michael, I want to start with you. First of all, give us the very latest, what we've heard from ABX, what we've heard from Amazon, and what we've heard from the pilots.
Yeah, well, glad to be here. The latest, we're told that these parties are actually in court as we speak. The ABX Air, the airline, is trying to get a restraining order to get the pilots back to work and get these shipments going. It's a little unclear about whether they're going to get this restraining order, although the conventional wisdom is they will get a restraining order and these pilots will go back to work. It's just not clear about the timing yet.
Now, Rick, pilot Captain Zybarth, joining us now on the phone. Talk to us a little bit about how it got to this point from your end.
Yes, be happy to. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are negotiating a new collective bargaining agreement. We've been negotiating one for almost 2 years. But this strike, known as a status quo strike, is actually a strike over the existing collective bargaining agreement, which management, because of the staffing shortage, and believe me, it's not alleged, management will readily agree there's a staffing shortage, and so do we, because we've been talking about it for the past 2 years. But they unilaterally altered certain provisions of our contract because they are short of pilots, and that violation has put an additional workload and strain on our crews. And through numerous meetings and negotiations to try to alleviate those issues and to rectify them, management ultimately refused to come to an agreement with us to maintain the status quo, and therefore we elected to strike, which took effect early this morning at 2:30 in the morning Eastern time.
So, Captain Zybarth, do you see a protracted strike here or not?
The strike will take as long as it takes to resolve the issue. As the gentleman previously noted, I'm not really aware of where we are in the court proceeding, but I was advised that the company filed a complaint in federal courts, and certainly a federal judge has that authority. But I can tell you that, in my opinion, the judge will not issue an order, certainly not tonight. So we'll be on strike for the rest of the day and through tomorrow, and we'll see how that court case progresses.
So, Satish, how much do you think this particular issue could impact Amazon, given that they do have other carriers here, but also volume is expected to go up, as online shipments go up, and Amazon gets, a lot of that new business?
You are absolutely right. The timing is probably the worst that the pilots could have chosen to hurt the public that is counting on its holiday season. And even though they do business with UPS, FedEx, who have the ability to help them with handling some of that volume, gearing up for that in this short time is going to be a challenge, and there would be some implications in terms of timing for delivery of those packages. They could get delayed by a day or 2 days. Now, it is not critical that those packages have to be there in 2 days, because a lot of those shipments are being bought for holiday season. However, it is my view that the courts are not going to let the strike prolong, because this has never happened before, where the courts have allowed the public to suffer as a result of it, and they'll send them back to the bargaining table while they keep operating in the interim.
Now, Michael, Amazon has been working on its own fleet of cargo jets to help carry the load. How much could that actually impact the growing Amazon business going forward?
Well, they've secured the use of about 40 jets and what they do is they fly their merchandise to these various distribution or quote fulfillment centers around the country, and the idea is to get the merchandise closer to people to allow for these 2-day deliveries and even these same-day deliveries. So it's a big push for Amazon. I think one of the interesting things is, will this strike cause them to second guess anything? They really relied on UPS and FedEx previously to do a lot of this flying, and now that they're going to start doing it themselves, are they going to rethink that? Are these kind of possible strikes and shortages of pilots going to come back to bite them at all? I think that's an open question.
Now, Captain Zybrath, we've heard that some airlines may actually honor the strike and pick up the slack. What can you actually tell us about that?
Within our system, we have a sister company known as ATI that has flown trips in the service of Amazon that I was made aware of today. Yes, that's true. Limited flights, they have, I believe, 8 airplanes in service.
Now, Satish, last year was, the busiest holiday shopping season Amazon had ever experienced. They did have one major snag where they didn't anticipate the amount of demand that would come from third-party resellers. Aside from this particular strike, what do you think the biggest challenges will be for Amazon to overcome this particular holiday season?
I think they have made several changes during this year to prepare themselves for handling the increase in volume. They have working with the big carriers that you know of, UPS, FedEx, the post office, and post office actually handles more volume from them than other two combined, and post office has a very large network. They can absorb it. They're delivering on Saturday and Sundays for Amazon, and then they've got their own independent contractors in various markets that they're going to be able to leverage, including some regional carriers are delivering for them, like On Track and LaserShip. Plus, I would disagree with what Michael said about, I don't think Amazon is going to retract from using a company like ATSG for their flying. All other airlines have union pilots, and they can experience the same thing. I think this is going to be a simple blip that is going to be forgotten within another day or two.